see what kind of response Kira Dunn and the Yellow Jackets can offer today, as Dunn and the 6'6" Kana Oldacre stand inside the jump circle. And the tap is controlled by the 6'6" Kana Oldacre, and we are underway. If Miami can cook up a better first half, they didn't make it easy on themselves Thursday. Rallying from a 17-point halftime deficit, time for the second biggest comeback in school history in that overtime victory versus Clemson.
Yeah, and these teams battle it out. I mean, Miami has the bragging rights. They've won the last 4 games, so Georgia Tech trying to see if they can break that win streak for Miami. Turnover into the hands of Tomie Morgan. She will ride it all the way down and draw the foul. Tomie Morgan always finds hands on the basketball, and the Tallahassee, Florida native to shoot 2. As we take a look at Georgia Tech's starting 5, Tomie Morgan, one of the mainstays in Nell Fortner's lineup. He's getting the 3rd straight start to the grad transfer Sydney Johnson, Noeto, Dunn, Blackshear round things out. And you see that's something that Tomie Morgan has struggled with, shooting free throws, starting this game off well, 2 for 2. And just 62% at the line this year, coming off a dozen points versus Syracuse as we introduce the Miami starters. Very balanced offense for Katie Meyer's team. Roberts, Patrick, Williams, Day-Wilson, and Oldacre. Caleb Blackshear turn in the corner, gets the blow by an Oldacre. This is interesting. Miami starting off with that man-to-man, not surprising. I'm a little surprised they hadn't started out in zone against Georgia Tech, since Tech has struggled against the zone, but that's a difficult matchup for Oldacre. Oh, the drive, draw, and dish. Day-Wilson setting up Oldacre. Can't teach 6'6", and it puts the Hurricanes on the board. And that pressure forces the turnover. And Katie Meyer's team knows how to crank up the heat on defense. It's their 19th season, trying to send Miami to its 3rd straight NCAA tournament. And what a march it was last year for the Hurricanes. Not only their first ever Sweet 16 appearance in school history, but their first Elite 8 as well. Right, and they were led by Destiny Harden. She's a tough loss for this squad, but they really overachieved a season ago with the youth that the Hurricanes had. They were able to advance. And this time it's Oldacre's turn to turn the corner on Caleb Blackshear. The inbounds pass was thrown away. And it looks like Georgia Tech just was not ready for it. You can't have those unforced turnovers in a game like this. But, you know, speaking back on Oldacre, she's a player that Coach Meyer has been extremely high on since she's brought her to Miami. And she's been a great player. Her size, her ability. She was a top recruit coming out of high school, I believe a McDonald's All-American, and she can put up numbers if you give her the ball. She's already matched her point total from the Clemson game. She's got all 4 of the Hurricanes' points. Jalea Williams off the Oldacre screen from the mid-range and misses everything. Jalea Williams, the junior from Pompano Beach, Florida, nearly recorded a double-double versus Clemson. And you know this was something that Nell Fortner and her team practiced on extensively coming home from Syracuse on Thursday, breaking that Miami pressure. Yeah, because Miami, that's one thing that they can do is play defense. They're one of the top, I believe, 2nd in the conference in defensive field goal percentage this season. Morgan from deep, and she drains the 3. That is not necessarily in the wheelhouse of Tomie Morgan, but that doesn't mean that she's a reluctant 3-point shooter, her 11th of the year, and she gives Tech the 7-4 lead. Well, she understands she has to take that shot and hopefully start hitting that shot in order to open up the lane for herself so she can get to the basket. Meanwhile, Jasmyne Roberts loses the handle, another Miami turnover. Blackshear had a terrific game last year against the Hurricanes in Atlanta. 18 points, 11 rebounds. Morgan walks the screen from Blackshear with the shot clock inside 10. Blackshear rolls, the kick to Dunn. The 3-pointer off the rim. And now it's Miami's turn to run with Shayeann Day-Wilson. The Hezia Noeto scooping with the left. Doesn't get the bounce, but draws the foul. And we know Day-Wilson is lightning quick. I mean, she is shooting the basketball well, especially from behind the arc this season. But she is not afraid to drive to the basket and has the handle and capability to get there. And we see it on this possession. She doesn't get the finish, but she does get the foul. And there's a quick stop and start by the junior from Toronto. Team leading 11.5 points per game.
17 points, 5 assists, and 3 made threes in that comeback win versus Clemson. Time for the second largest comeback in school history. 1 point shy of the largest, which was actually against Georgia Tech back in January of 2021.
Yeah, Day-Wilson was key in that overtime against Clemson. She set the tone, hitting a big three-pointer to start the OT. And like I said, she's the leader, the point guard for this squad. So how she goes, they go.
And it's 2 of 2 trim for Day-Wilson. Former ACC Freshman of the Year at Duke. There was another former ACC Freshman of the Year from the Blue Devils back in the day named Katie Meyer,
right,
her head coach.
You gave Coach Meyer some information she didn't even know. She was like, that's an incredible stat. I like it.
Didn't realize she hadn't connected the dots. Probably was an easy recruiting pitch. Morgan slings, Johnson got the blow by, the drop off, and Blackshear with the 2.
And that's the type of passing that Georgia Tech needs. They were really stagnant the last few games and not moving the basketball. Early in this one, they're sharing it.
And now Roberts up and scored, and the foul.
And Jasmyne Roberts is a capable scorer for this squad. She had a tremendous season a season ago as a sophomore and had some big outings scoring points. And we see this matchup against Johnson. It's going to be tough because Jasmyne Roberts is going to attack, and she gets the and one on that finish.
Now you see Johnson locked arms with Jasmyne Roberts. And a chance for a three-point play to tie this one up. Roberts has made 15 consecutive free throws until now. Was it something I said?
Yeah,
she had not missed since December 16th against Baylor.
That's impressive.
You can put that on my tab, everyone. Here's Blackshear off the screen from Dawn off the screen from Blackshear. Morgan attacking, leaving it for Blackshear. Morgan has already made 1 3. Much more confident, though, as a driver. Johnson with the shot clock at 5. Rejects the screen. Down the lane. Off the glass, no. And Oldacre pulls down the board. Interesting that Nell Mortner moving Sydney Johnson into the starting lineup, the grad transfer and veteran from Boston University. Like you said, to get a little more ball movement, a little more veteran savvy on the floor surrounding those shooters like Dawn, Blackshear, and Morgan, and that 3 is heavy.
And it takes the pressure off of Tomie Morgan, where she doesn't have to necessarily get her teammates involved and then worry about scoring. Sydney Johnson's out there to facilitate and run the offense.
Oh, the blow by, the scoop good by Tomie Morgan. She just rocked her defender to sleep. 11-8 Georgia Tech. Roberts plows over on Nueto, offensive foul. And nobody better on the Yellow Jackets at taking charges than the Spaniard. He nets Nueto.
Yeah, Nueto, we see what she can do. We know what she can do defensively. But this move by Tomie Morgan to the basket was big time. And you see Roberts trying to do the same thing, but Nueto is right there, takes the contact, gets the charge.
Yeah, you see her pat her chest. He says, that was on me.
Yeah.
And Roberts has to come out. An early break here is Lachey Dwyer, the junior from Toronto, takes her spot. Rusna Augusta-Naita is also in for the first time, along with Aisha Won-Ananas, so Nell Fortner dip into her bench as well.
And that's what Coach Meyer's always been about. Like, if she recruits players, she's going to play them. You know, if they work hard and it fits in her system. She doesn't have freshmen and sophomores sitting on the bench. They're going to get some run.
Augusta-Naita off the mark, and last off the leg of Dunn, Miami ball. And I think also that move of Johnson into the starting lineup can benefit Rusna Augusta-Naita, the freshman who still ranks among the ACC leaders in made threes, but you could sense her starting to press as ACC play wore on. Just take the pressure off her by moving her off the bench.
Yeah, I agree. You know, when you're coming off the bench, you just come in to give some extra to your squad and don't have to worry about being in the starting lineup and having to contribute points. Off the bench, she can just play a lot more freely.
Off the Lattimore miss, here's Morgan, lines up the 3, and one couldn't get a second. And the rebound ripped away by Lattimore, and jump ball is the call. The arrow gives it to Georgia Tech. Yellow Jackets keeping with it, and they'll keep possession when we come back. 4:37 just underway in our first quarter. Yellow Jackets the 11-8 lead.
Greatness is a feeling, a moment, a choice. Unrelenting. A team effort. Greatness is accomplishing on this field and this one. Greatness is more than winning the game. It's changing it. Greatness is what we do. Accomplish greatness.
What even is this? Don't touch my things, gross. Janice, when you bundle your home or renters with your auto, Progressive provides 24/7 protection for almost everything you own. But do you really need my weighted hoop? It's for my snatched waist. It's my dog chaise lounger. Foot treadmill. That's my Tuesday chalice. Purse that says purse. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy chamber. I can't live without oxygen. Solid gold coffee machine. Lake making kit. Really? Can Progressive cover that too? Yes, but... Hi, it's Janice. I'll take 5. Is my voice on TV right now?
It's your igniter. We'll help get that fixed. Then your oven issues, done.
The best part about opening front door is the video to get these two done, yeah. Video, chatting like crazy. Experts on shirts.
Man, an app to fix my oven.
Yep, an app to fix your oven. That's correct.
Download to video chat with experts for only $25 a year.
Hey, it's me, your skin. This acne has me craving a maximum strength cleanse, but will it cause more discomfort? New CeraVe Acne Cream Wash, developed with dermatologists, is powered with maximum strength 10% benzoyl peroxide to treat acne. CeraVe with 3 essential ceramides lets us cleanse without disrupting my natural barrier, so we can treat our face and body acne and finally feel comfortable.
New CeraVe Acne Cream Wash from the #1 dermatologist recommended skincare brand.
Want a drink without the booze? Sprouts is shaking things up. This is the De Soir Sparkling Non-Alcoholic Aperitif. It has adaptogens in it, so it's mood boosting.
That is fresh.
This smells like wine and tastes like rosé.
This one is Avec. It is Fuji apple and cardamom flavored.
That's really unique. I like that.
It's got a tang to it.
No sugar added?
Exactly. This is the Say So Skinny Spicy Margarita.
Tastes like a margarita.
Everything that I want to buy, I can get at Sprouts. I don't have to go to any other grocery store.
Cheers to a healthier you with Sprouts.
Yellow Jackets the 11-8 lead over the Hurricanes early. Both teams coming in with 5 ACC wins. Miami had a very front-loaded conference schedule. They were struggling 1-3 until they knocked off #4 North Carolina State, Hurricanes' highest-ranked home win in program history. Down the stretch, they will not face a team that's currently ranked, and they know there is an opportunity to climb the conference standings continuing today.
Yeah, and this is a team that can do it. They had a similar positioning last season and then fought their way and finished strong in conference play to give themselves better seeding. But, you know, this is a team, their bench is averaging 27 or near 28 points per game, the bench is. So they get a lot of scoring, and it's balanced for this squad.
32 bench points in the overtime win versus Clemson. The corner triple is long from Lattimore and saved over the baseline. It's tapped by the Hurricanes down to Dwyer. Great hustle by Spearman.
Yeah, and she's that type of athlete, Georgia player that Coach Meyer was able to recruit and get her down to Miami.
Lattimore, the offensive rebound, can't finish under the basket. Scramble for it, and it'll stay with Miami. As Katie Meyer applauds the hustle of her team to get another possession.
Yeah, this is a team that's going to fight. They're not going to lay down and die for anybody, and they're going to compete, and Tech has to be ready for it.
Allie Stedman in for the first time, the Pepperdine transfer, replacing Jada Patrick. Hurricanes just 3 of 9 to begin. They've missed all 3 of their threes, and boy, was that ever a turnaround in Coral Gables on Thursday. They were 0 of 11 from 3 in the first half, and then second half in overtime, 8 of 19.
Oh, that's a difference, especially when you're trying to make a run with that type of deficit they had at halftime.
Ball was initially ruled Georgia Tech ball, then reversed, and so it'll stay with the Hurricanes.
Yeah, I think Dwyer, when she was going baseline, dribbled off of Augusta Knight's foot.
So possession on the house for Miami. Spearman catches on one. Adanaz lets it fly, rims it out, chased down by Morgan. One of the best guard rebounders in the ACC, the sophomore Tomie Morgan, with a career-high 26 in Blacksburg versus Virginia Tech earlier this year. Last year, very skilled in the high post. Takes the handoff. Off to Noeto. One Adanaz in traffic. Gets the rebound and the kick.
Another one for Noedo. Can't give her too many opportunities, but can't cash out there. Lattimore wants the high-low. Tucks it down to Spearman. Across the lane on one. Adanaz. Around and out. Rosaria Spillman making a homecoming, the Decula, Georgia native, but can't finish there.
Yeah, but that was good defense by Won't Adanaz. On both possessions, she gets that offensive rebound and plays tough defense on Spearman, so she can't score.
Won't Adanaz, extensive minutes against Syracuse. Kind of player whose impact can't really be measured in the box score. A dribble handoff was stolen. Dwyer coasting and drawing the foul on Morgan.
You don't want Tomie Morgan getting into foul trouble in this game because she started off well so far for Tech, leading them in scoring, but this is just one of those turnovers that Tech cannot have, and Dwyer just does a great job driving to the basket. I tell you, these Miami guards are fearless. They're quick, and they can get to the rim and score with the best of them.
Yeah, they can't fly, and you saw the quick hands by LaShaye Dwyer punching that loose around the dribble handoff. And Dwyer, 57% foul shooter, 13 of 23 this year. The junior from Toronto. He's a starter for Katie Meyer during non-conference play. Has moved into a bench role now in the ACC. And a season-high 18 points in that win over North Carolina State. How good will that look on the Hurricanes' resume? Their net ranking 37, entering the weekend in good shape, but can't take anything for granted, especially with how rough and tumble the ACC is this year. She splits the free throws. Jackets lead by 2.
Yeah, it has. I mean, the last 5 seasons, the ACC's taken 8 teams to the NCAA tournament. So I would not be surprised if that trend continues this season.
Long carom out to Morgan. Yellow Jackets just 1 of 5 from 3 to begin. And they missed their last 6 from the floor. Morgan with a throwback to Noedo. Comes up shooting baseline long. A quick outlet to Day-Wilson. And she mishandles it. Morgan with the swipe.
Yeah, Day-Wilson should have never picked up her dribble. Got in a bad position, and then Morgan took advantage of the opportunity.
Morgan given space to operate by Day-Wilson. Plants the screen from Won't Adanaz. Augusta Naita. Good. Augusta Naita, the freshman from Lithuania, played her high school ball at Montverde Academy in Florida.
Yeah, and I like the pass Dunn had. She had the shot, could have taken that 3, and made the extra pass to Augusta Naita, and she knocks it down from the corner.
Coaches are enamored with those one more as the +1 passes. And a 3 gets the bounce at the top by Lattimore. She answers right back with just her 4th 3 of the season.
And Lattimore is a player that definitely would have caused some havoc last season when Miami made their run to the Elite 8. She tore ACL after 9 games, so I'm sure Coach Meyer's happy to have her back.
She's part of an Elite 8 team her freshman season at Texas. Makes it a 14-12 game. We'll see that extra swing pass from Dunn to Augusta Naita.
And it's nothing but money, baby. She knocks it down, and then Miami comes back. And you got Lattimore repaying the favor, gets the nice bounce, and gets the ball to go in the basket.
That high bounce.
High bounce. Shooter's touch.
No doubt. Johnson for 3. Almost banks it home. Sydney Johnson actually played in Coral Gables last year as a member of Boston University, tied for the team lead with 11 points. Scrap for the loose ball, controlled by the Yellow Jackets. Body's hitting the deck. Now driving the lane, Dawn got a challenge well, but grabs her own miss. Can't follow through, though. How about the defense by Dwyer?
That was good, not to give up on it. And Day-Wilson. I mean, it looked like Dunn had the open layup, and she can't finish it.
And now Dwyer gets whistled for the travel. Now, sometimes that's the best time to transition. Defense is simply being a presence, and Dwyer's presence, even though she's 5'6", maybe, affected not one, but both shots from Kira Dunn.
She did, because it made the shot difficult, especially on the offensive board. Dunn got it, just couldn't finish on that possession for Tech.
Final 30 seconds of the opening quarter. 5-second difference, shot clock to game clock. Once again, it's Dwyer out to Pastor Johnson. Tough pull up by Augusta Naita, leaves it on the rim. Dwyer on the run. Hurricanes will hold for the final shot. Day-Wilson over Augusta Knight to no. Rebound Lattimore. Takes it up off the window. That doesn't fall. Can she get it up again? No. And that'll take us to the end of the Colts shooting first quarter. But on the sport of women's basketball throughout the afternoon. Through one quarter, Georgia Tech the 14-12 lead. Both teams shooting below 30%, but some sticky defense, I think, accounts for most of that.
Oh, yeah, no, these teams have been battling it out. Nothing's going to come easy, and Miami definitely has that size advantage in the paint.
Williams on the crossover, got bumped by Noedo. The stick back by Oldacre, scored, and the foul.
And you see it, Coach Meyer, she thought that the foul should have been called a lot earlier on that penetration with the bump. She misses, but Oldacre's right there to clean it up for Williams. Gets the and one.
That gives Kyla Oldacre a team-high 6 points. Already surpassing her season average. And an ACC high 11. And the Hurricanes win over Boston College. Can't complete the and one, but it knots us at 14. Tomie Morgan leads the way with 7 of the Jackets' 14. And a foul off the ball as Morgan hits the deck. No whistle. Oldacre for the personal.
Guess Oldacre said you're not going to come in this lane easy. We're going to get some bumps going on in the paint. And Tomie Morgan sells it. He's able to draw the foul with the bump.
That's the old chuck in the cutter.
Right.
Coaches love talking about. Oldacre's first. Blackshear handling out high, hands off Augusta Knight. The drive and dish, Noedo fouled on the three.
And that's a no-no right there, you know. Noedo hasn't hit a three all afternoon, but is a capable three-point shooter and draws that one, tees that one up, and Steedman with the foul as she's going out to contest it and tries to box out, but Noedo hadn't gotten back to the floor after shooting the basketball, so that's always a no-no, an easy call for the ref.
Yeah, we saw the replay and pretty textbook there. Steedman landing right into the feet of Noedo, and Noedo didn't kick the legs out, try to embellish anything.
No.
And so the sophomore from Gijón, Spain, to shoot 3 free throws. Worked her way into a starting role for Nell Fortner in her sophomore season. Averaging 6.9 points a game and a 75% free throw shooter. And she'll have to settle for 2 of 3. Opening minute of our second quarter. Dwyer in traffic. Flips it, no. Rebound ripped away by Morgan, falling down, able to bounce away to Noedo.
And that's crazy. Amongst all the people in the paint, Tomie Morgan ends up with the rebound, and not surprising. She's such an incredible athlete.
That is one thing Georgia Tech has always seemed to have on an annual basis is guards not afraid to stick their nose in and work the window. Dunn kicks to Augusta Knight. Shot clock at 5. No looks the lob into Blackshear. What a pass from Augusta Knight.
And that was big time. It looks like Augusta Knight was looking for the screen. Blackshear gave it, but not on the side she wanted, and they were still able to connect. Nice pass. Nice finish by Blackshear.
Mid-range doesn't fall. Augusta Knight to the rebound. We're seeing a fired-up Augusta Knight today.
I mean, she's a passionate competitor either way, but I think it's just her feeling comfortable in her role with this team, and that's so hard to figure out as a freshman. She's still trying to get it, but so far having a good start this afternoon for the Jackets.
Done quiet early. Gives it up to Morgan. Attacking, and it's stripped out of her hands by Dwyer. Stays with Tech, 6 to shoot. Now Blackshear with the nice slip. But look at the no-look.
Yeah.
By Augusta Knight.
Because she's up in the air, and I don't think she knew where she may be passing that, but Blackshear did save it. Was in the right position and at the right time, rolling to the basket or slipping, and is able to get the finish.
Gives Blackshear 6 points, 6 to shoot. Off the inbound, Augusta Knight up quickly and swishes it.
I mean, that has some Jordan type of look to it. Nice looking shot coming off with a little fade, and she's able to get the knockdown.
Roosters generation might say Kobe, but
Kobe.
We're in the 2-3.
Right, I'm sorry.
I appreciate the comparison.
He's my favorite either way. I should have said Kobe.
That's
what you say when you knock it down.
Yeah.
It is.
Jackets up the lead to 6. It's a 6-0 Georgia Tech run. Dwyer ducks behind the screen. Rains the 3, no good. Noedo climbs the ladder for the board. Miami just 1 of 6 from 3, 5 of 20 for the game. Blackshear getting downhill on Oldacre. Too much speed for Kayla Blackshear. When she's in the high post, she's sensing the advantage on Oldacre.
She is, and it's giving her the space to work in the lane, and a good decision, looking like she was looking to hand the ball off to somebody, and instead gives a nice little shoulder fake, drives straight to the basket.
And now an 8-0 Georgia Tech run. Williams trying to silence that. She does until of a chance for 3 at the line.
And Williams, she is lightning quick. Looks like she may have grown a bit from a season ago just looking at her, but she has the speed and quickness to drive and get to the basket and score. And you see right now she gives a little hesitation. Naredo is late. Lane is wide open for Williams. No rotations by Georgia Tech, and she gets the and one.
That's a second foul on Inez Noedo, so she comes out as Jalea Williams, the junior, 64% foul shooter at the line with 1. Season high 16.7 rebounds against Duke. And the free throw line has been unkind to the Hurricanes so far. That makes them 3 of 7.
And those free throws are so critical when you're in a game like this that's probably going to be close to the finish.
The wraparound pass done too heavy. Fight for the board. Oldacre and Blackshear tied up. And the Arrow keeps it with the Yellow Jackets.
And that's one thing Blackshear is going to do. She's going to fight for rebounds. She's going to get the positioning. A fantastic rebounder for Georgia Tech. Even if she's undersized against Oldacre, she's still going to fight and battle down there.
Meanwhile, Fallon, it's been a slow start for Kara Dunn, Georgia Tech's leading scorer. She's 0 of 4 from the floor.
She is, but fortunately for Georgia Tech, they hadn't really needed her so far in this game.
0 of 5 now, and this time Oldacre sweeps away the rebound. Williams was freshman All-ACC in 2022. Patrick exchanged with Day-Wilson. Runs Johnson into his screen. Williams gets the step baseline. The no look to Oldacre. She's in traffic. Whistle, jump ball. This time Miami keeps it on the arrow.
I mean, that was some nice razzle-dazzle with the pass, and she was able to thread that needle with 2 defenders on Oldacre. But instead, Oldacre gets tied up with the jump ball. But a nice look by Williams. When you have somebody 6'6" in that lane, you're probably going to give him some looks like that.
You can tell the quickness from Jalea Williams causing issues for Georgia Tech defensively. Spearman in for Oldacre. He gets a rest with 6 points. Shot clock at 3. Day-Wilson has to hurry. Doesn't get it off in time. You know, it's interesting when teams retain possession on the arrow. I think instinctively they believe they get 20 seconds back on the shot clock. That clearly threw the Hurricanes timing off.
It did, and Day-Wilson as a starting point guard, Coach Meyer is talking to her. She has to be aware of that.
Jackets by 6 at the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. Dunn still looking for her first points. Swung around to Augusta Naita. Oh, she has Morgan open in the corner. She attacks, fans out. Johnson for 3, and she banks it in.
Now
whether intended or not.
Right, the first one the bank was closed. That time the bank was open for Johnson.
Sydney Johnson, the transfer from Boston University. Like we said, she played Miami last year as a member of the Terriers. Trying to keep quick feet in front of Day-Wilson. Roberts fakes the pick and pop 3, takes it in deep, misses the layup though. Boy, looks like she had an unencumbered lane to the basket, but just smoked it.
Yeah, she did, and that's not usual for Roberts. She's a solid finisher for Miami.
Dunn with a hand in her face, misfires, rebound Patrick. Georgia Tech up 9 despite their leading scorer, Kara Dunn, still scoreless. A high screen for Williams. Off to Patrick. Her 3 flat.
And you see the last few possessions, Georgia Tech's done a great job defensively against Miami. Not allowing them to get easy shots in the paint or allowing them to finish in the paint.
And Blackshear rims out the foul line jumper as Spearman went for the steal. Miami catches a break. Trying to snap a scoring drought of over 2 minutes. Hurricanes is 2 of 8 from the field in the second quarter. Williams sizes up Augusta Naita. Tight rope in the baseline. Unfortunately, that wasn't thrown away. Underneath, Roberts gets behind the defense and lays it in.
Yeah, she is very fortunate. Johnson was face guarding Day-Wilson and didn't even see the pass coming. And unfortunately for Miami, they're able to recover and get the layup.
Jasmyne Roberts has 4. Was held to a season-low 2 points against Clemson. Agusta Naita, the one more. Johnson, around no good. Ripped away by Dunn. She's tied up with Spearman. And on the alternating possession, Georgia Tech will give up possession to Miami as we've hit timeout. 4:03 to go in the second quarter. Kira Dunn still looking to find her stroke, with the Yellow Jackets lead them by 7. They some good passing and maybe a little window work as well from Sydney Johnson.
Hey, look at this.
What?
Save nearly $750.
With that kind of money, we could fly south.
Except we don't migrate.
No, I'm talking actually fly. Sit back, relax, maybe work on my novel, and I won't forget the little birds out there. Actually, yes, I will.
Wow, money changed you.
Just keeping it real. Do people still say that?
Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds to spend on whatever you dream up.
Wow. This new Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear is so soft and so smooth. I'm starting to get tarried away. Ah, thank you, Mr. Smooth Bear.
Designed with smooth tear edges, new Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear has wavy perforations that tear so much better for a smooth, more enjoyable go.
Mom, you okay in there? I'm terrific.
Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Hey, it's me, your skin. I crave being clear without irritation. CeraVe Acne Cleanser. Benzoyl peroxide treats my acne, while 3 essential ceramides in CeraVe help restore my natural barrier so we can treat and heal.
CeraVe Acne Foam and Cleanser.
Want a drink without the booze? Sprouts is shaking things up. This is the Day Soir Sparkling Non-Alcoholic Aperitif. It has adaptogens in it, so it's mood boosting.
That is fresh.
This smells like wine and tastes like rosé.
This one is Avec. It is Fuji apple and cardamom flavored.
That's really unique. I like that.
It's got a tang to it.
No sugar added?
Exactly. This is the Say So Skinny Spicy Margarita.
Tastes like a margarita.
Everything that I want to buy, I can get at Sprouts. I don't have to go to any other grocery store.
Cheers to a healthier you with Sprouts.
$1 million Whopper contest. I can top that.
I can top that.
Hey! You can top that!
You bet!
Really? Avocado, bacon, hollandaise.
Hollandaise?
Pickles and sport peppers.
What? Corn chips!
Brisket and barbecue.
I can top that.
Bacon, egg, and cheese Whopper.
Pizza Whopper.
Creating your Whopper your way could win you $1 million. Can you top that?
7 points, 4 rebounds for Tomie Morgan to pace the Yellow Jackets to a 7-point lead over Miami. Georgia Tech at a record of 5-7 in the ACC. They've already surpassed their conference win total from last season. And it is undeniably a better shooting team this year for Nell Fortner compared to last year.
It definitely is. You see the totals in points from a season ago and up to around 69 points per game. But I think it's a key stat is the assists per game. You can tell they're sharing the basketball better. But I do like the change in the lineup with Sydney Johnson. She's a facilitator. She's the point guard. She runs the plays and plays solid defense. They don't need her to score, but it allows Tomie Morgan to float and do what she does best, driving to the basket.
Morgan forced one up, but got the reload done. Off the heel, and this time clamped in by Spearman. Zaria Spearman, almost 6 rebounds a game, but Johnson with the steal at midcourt, and now Johnson filling the lane, little heavy. Oh, that would have been beautiful from start to finish for Sydney Johnson.
It would have. She read that steal or got that steal like a safety.
Yeah, but Spearman 6'4" and extending that wingspan to affect her. Now the screen setter for Day-Wilson. Roberts trying to wiggle her way through. Williams shot clock at 5. Shaking undone with 2. Comes up firing and banks it in.
Yeah, she can knock down around that free throw line and gets the bank shot as the shot clock is winding down. Williams is a capable scorer.
7.7 points a game for the junior from Pompano Beach, Florida. Makes it a 5-point Georgia Tech lead with less than 3 to go. And the inbound entry pass forced to Blackshear, able to rescue it. Georgia Tech avoids the turnover. Can they convert off the scramble? Morgan in deep, banks it in.
such an athlete. You think she gets too deep, and there's no way she's going to get that ball up on the glass, and she just surprises you. That was a nice finish by the sophomore.
When she can knock down a three early, it really opens things up for her. Even though she's not necessarily a high-volume three-point shooter, teams now have to honor that, and she was able to pump fake and drive the closeout.
They do. Good hustle by Spearman. Gets the miss. Was able to recover and get the rebound.
Miami's gotten some hustle rebounds. The shot clock did not reset. Williams once again with the shot clock winding down. No good from the baseline. Spearman swats it out and out of play. Kept that ball alive, but nobody could chase it down for the Hurricanes.
And that's been the battle. Georgia Tech is a capable rebounding team, but we understand the size Miami has, and they're going to be aggressive and go hard for offensive boards to give themselves second chance opportunities. And Georgia Tech has done a solid job this afternoon of limiting those opportunities.
Now late substitution as the freshman De'Asia Thomas-Harris comes in for Blackshear. First time we see the freshman from Texas. Renell Fortner played her high school ball and graduated from the University of Texas. Augusta Naita, 4-3, long that time. Day-Wilson stopping on a dime.
That's big. I mean, you're capable of stopping at a dime and shooting, pulling up for the J. That's impressive.
Day-Wilson, like you said in the open, working on a string of 8 straight games in double figures. Gives her 4. Circling it around, and Johnson. The entry to Thomas-Harris. Throws over the zone. Morgan. Shot clock at 7. Passed on the 3. Creates off the one Adona's screen. Mid-range jumper down.
That was a good decision by Tomie Morgan. She didn't want to shoot that 3, but I like what Augusta Naita did. She wanted to shoot it, instead passed it and allowed Tomie Morgan to work to get that mid-range J.
Tomie Morgan with 11. Approaching a minute in our first half. Yellow Jackets by 7. Roberts will try her luck from the mid-range off the mark. Morgan pulls it down. Tomie Morgan has been dialed in so far. Watch out. The hezzy and the kick to Augusta Naita. Augusta Naita is a perpetual motion machine.
She is. She's going to move to find ways to get herself open for the basketball.
Lands in the hands of Morgan. Shot clock trickling down again. Augusta Naita has to heave, and it's an air ball.
And that's not the shot that Coach Fortner wanted in that set. And you could tell Augusta Naita didn't even feel comfortable taking it, but knew she had to with the shot clock winding down. But they got to move that ball a little faster. Don't keep it at the top. Try to get it in the paint. Get some post touches.
Shot clock is off. Hurricanes trailed by 17 at the break on Thursday. We're able to erase that in an overtime win versus Clemson. Trying to nick some points off a 7-point hole right now. Lattimore goes up strong and draws the foul.
And that's a big move by Lattimore. That's going to be a bit of a mismatch for Juan Adonis, who's capable, but Lattimore is a person or a player that can drive the basketball at her size to get to the basket, and she drives and gets the foul on that possession.
To the line goes the junior from Toronto. One of 5 Canadians on this Miami roster. They are walking the path from Ontario province, pioneered by my good friend, former Hurricane center Amy Audibert, the pride of Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, and now radio analyst for the Miami Heat. She can tell you all about the riches that await one, going from the Great White North to Coral Gables. Lattimore misfires on the second, kept alive, stripped loose, and now a foul. Thomas-Harris undercutting, I believe, Roberts down in the corner. It's the 4th foul of the quarter against Georgia Tech. So non-shooting, but Miami, after a fruitless free throw trip, will get one more possession.
And that's good hustle by Roberts. She's able to get a hand and rebound that basketball. And Augusta Naita does a great job of trying to knock the ball off of her, but just a little too much for Georgia Tech by Thomas-Harris. Gets the foul.
7 seconds left. The inbound to Oldacre. To Dwyer. At the top. On the drive. Got stripped. With one. Morgan will not get it off in time. So it takes us a halftime. And Tomie Morgan and the Yellow 3. Shayeann Day-Wilson, 4 points, 3 assists in that first half. May she start to awaken in the second half.
Yeah, that's not a person that Georgia Tech wants to see come alive in the second half, but she's a very capable scorer.
Off the deflection, the three in the corner is off the mark. Rebound Morgan.
That was a good backside rebound by Morgan.
Not only 4 field goals for Tomie Morgan, but 2 assists, who are responsible for more than half of Georgia Tech's made baskets. Off the flash, here's Blackshear. Finds Dunn. She's got a good look. Can't knock down the 3. Miami trying to get numbers in transition. Day-Wilson with the step back 3. Flying in comes Patrick for the rebound and the stick.
That's a great job with the active hands by Patrick. She followed that miss, was able to get that offensive board and drive straight to the basket for the lay-in.
Cuts the margin to 5. Miami trailed by 17 at halftime on Thursday against Clemson. As that jumper falls from Blackshear. But Miami held Clemson to 25% field goal shooting in the third and fourth quarter. They really clamped down defensively to make up that 17-point deficit. Time for the second largest comeback win in school history with the left hand, Patrick.
It seems like Patrick is starting to come alive. The transfer from Columbia, but she's making some nice moves for Miami and has gotten a couple good buckets.
And Jada Patrick, repatriating to the ACC, began her career at Duke before a very successful stint in the Ivy League with Columbia. You don't need to tell Miami about her scoring prowess because she had a career-high 25 for the Lions at Miami last year.
That's probably how she got on Coach Meyer's radar.
Probably didn't need to review a whole lot of film when they evaluated her. Dunn, pass to Roberts with the step and the foul.
And that's a good aggressive move. Sometimes you need to see that ball foul in the basket, but Dunn's been so quiet this afternoon. But driving to the basket, getting to the free throw line, that's a way that you can awaken as a scorer. And she was aggressive, goes between 3 Miami defenders, and is able to draw the foul.
It's the second on Oldacre, and that is something that you've observed about Kira Dunn this year, the sophomore, that even though she might have a slow start, a slow half, she never seems to be forced or rushed, and sooner or later she starts to click and find her offense.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's just probably reading the defense and trying to figure out what they're giving you so she can feel comfortable. And she's still just a sophomore, trying to figure that out with her growth, being the leading scorer for Georgia Tech.
74% foul shooter, splits the pair. Georgia Tech leads by 6. Fake of the 3. Patrick from the elbow spills off. Rebound Morgan. Out of the pack quickly. Oh, and she dribbles it off her foot out of bounds.
Yeah, sometimes you can be your own worst enemy when you're that fast. She was trying to push it.
She's awfully hard to stop, and she gets downhill.
She is one of the best in the ACC.
She could be a one-woman fast break, but the turnover is Georgia Tech 7. Day-Wilson, and that pass go off her shoulder. She recovers it. The step back over Morgan. Boy, that is Shayeann Day-Wilson. That might be what awakens her.
That was a tough shot. Georgia Tech was playing fantastic defense on that possession. Every defender was staying in front of their person. And then Day-Wilson just does what she does best and creates something and hits a nice mid-range jumper.
She's got 6. She's yet to make a 3, even though she's second in the ACC in conference play, 42% from deep. Dueto dumps to Johnson for a corner 3. And the rebound, Miami. Katie Meyer wants pace. Roberts comes up shooting, gets the hit from Johnson. And we're seeing a more assertive Miami offense in the opening minutes of this third quarter.
You're right, and you called it. I mean, Coach Meyer wants her team to control the pace, the tempo of this game. And this is a team that will run and push the basketball to see if they can find or get buckets in transition. And this time, they're able to draw the foul. Roberts is, and she's at the free throw line for 2 shots.
She had a star turn in the NCAA tournament last year en route to that historic Elite 8 appearance. Averaged 19 points, 7 rebounds,
across those NCAA tournament games, including a career-high 26 in the Sweet 16 versus Villanova. And she's got some connections to Georgia Tech. She's a cousin of Chris Milton, former Georgia Tech cornerback who spent 5 years in the NFL. And after the free throw trip, cuts the margin to 2.
Well, Roberts has some incredible athleticism. A season ago, Miami had a big win against Virginia Tech at home, and she was key in that victory and knocked down a lot of buckets for Miami.
You think athleticism may run in her family? Shanice Bailey is one of her cousins. That three off the side of the backboard by Noero. Noero tried to drop it off the blacks here. It was kicked. And also a cousin of the WNBA's Courtney Williams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're giving the full bloodline today,
Yeah.
Andy. I love it.
I'll tell you about my family's athletic bloodlines, but that wouldn't be a long conversation. Enter to spotlight the likes of Jasmyne Roberts as Noero. Might have caught a stray there. Oh, look at that. Off the inbound, bounced off the back, and Rusna Gusenaita with the flip.
Hey, nice move by the freshman. Heads up play.
Pulling that out of the bag. You don't see too many of those in the wild.
You don't. It's not often.
And a foul off the fadeaway, and Patrick will go to the line. I think that's worth another look from the freshman, Rusna Gusenaita.
Yeah, Gusenaita, she's like, I have no one to pass it to. Williams not looking. Passes it right off her back and gets the reverse lay-in. Heads up play by the freshman.
Anytime a defender has a back turn toward the inbounder, the inbound passer is tempted.
Yeah, you are tempted.
It is high risk, high reward, but Gusenaita made it work.
Yeah.
Well, the Hurricanes now have made all 3 of their free throws in this second half after going 3 of 9 in the first half.
And you got to talk about the play of Patrick. She's been aggressive coming out in this second half. Now up to 5 points.
At a season high of 12 rebounds against Florida State, 9 points against Clemson. Morgan knifing through, and she draws the foul on Oldacre, and that'll be a third on Kyla Oldacre.
It looked like Oldacre just did what she could do, trying to keep her positioning. I like those pink nails she has. They're topping. But Toni Morgan, just better offense, goes aggressively right into her chest and is able to draw that foul. And Toni Morgan going back to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Can I just say, that was a flawless segue from the fit check to the play-by-play breakdown. I mean, nobody does that better than Fallon Stokes, ladies and gentlemen. To just seamlessly weave.
They were popping. They were right in my face on screen, so I had to give her a little shout out.
Meanwhile, Toni Morgan up to a dozen, 7 rebounds as well. Can't cash in the second and tracked down by the Hurricanes. Tech led by 7 at halftime. They led by as many as 9. Now up 35-32. Patrick's offense has perked up this second half. Almost threw away the lob. Roped out. A 3 in the corner, and that's good. Shayeann Day-Wilson, money from the corner pocket, and we are all tied.
Yeah, that was big time. A little step back 3 from the corner. That's a difficult shot.
Dunn loads up 1 from the corner. Bounces off, inside position, Spearman. Miami is yet to lead today. Only the 3rd tie we've had, but a travel in transition gives it back to the Jackets.
And that's a tough one for Williams, especially with Miami on this run. Those turnovers you do not want, especially when you start to have the momentum in a game.
Georgia Tech, meanwhile, 3 of 18 from 3. And nearly half of their field goal attempts have been from downtown. The pump fake, the step in, no good.
And that was a good play by Naredo. Wasn't going to settle for the 3, takes a dribble or 2 in and gets the shot that she wanted.
Our first made field goal in 5 attempts, and Jackets back in front. Day-Wilson, good again.
She like that 3 ball. She's saying another one. She's getting hot.
You lay underneath that screen, Day-Wilson will make you pay. 2nd in the ACC in conference play in 3s. Couple of knockdowns here, and for the first time tonight, Miami is in front. Making a 9th straight game in double digits for Day-Wilson. She's got 12. Noedo down the baseline. Tight roping. Pass was batted and stolen. Was turned away on a potential reverse. Now Day-Wilson with a stop and pop. Oh, that was a heat check. Offensive rebound. Hurricanes and a foul called.
That was a heat check, but that's the most wide open she's been this afternoon and couldn't knock that one down.
Williams boarded the miss and draws the foul. 16-8 Hurricanes in front of the third quarter and on top by 1.
I knew that I wanted to get help immediately. I was going to be able to see a therapist within that same week.
I am just so much more like in tune with myself after just being able to talk to my therapist. She's dope.
There's so much ease with using BetterHelp. Now I feel so much more confident in expressing myself, and that's been a great gift for me.
Hey, it's me, your skin. This acne craves a powerful cleanse. New CeraVe Acne Wash treats with max strength benzoyl peroxide. CeraVe with 3 essential ceramides doesn't disrupt my barrier. We can treat and finally feel comfortable.
New CeraVe Acne Wash.
$1 million Whopper contest. I can top that.
I could top that.
Hey! You can top that!
You bet!
Really? Avocado, bacon, hollandaise.
Hollandaise?
Pickles and sport peppers.
What? Corn chips!
Brisket burgers.
I can top that.
Bacon, egg, and cheese Whopper.
Pizza Whopper.
Creating your Whopper your way could win you $1 million. Can you top that?
Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
So I can take all these trips because Priceline has all these amazing deals. Look. The deals are hatching. And that's when I said, deal!
And on your right is our Infinity Deal Pool.
Breathe in. You are the deals. I am the deals. The deals are me. Wait, you can hear me?
Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Now the hype is starting to heat up for the Hurricanes. Shayeann Day-Wilson, 8 third-quarter points to put Miami in front, Fallon.
And she's been smooth when she's been doing it in this third. I mean, the nice step-back 3, we see it right there. And this one right here, can't go underneath that screen, Tomie Morgan. She's like, you're too little, I'm knocking down the 3.
She had 3 threes in that comeback effort versus Clemson Thursday after just 4 points in the first half.
And she is awakened in this second half, in this third quarter, when her team needed her most. And it's continued the streak of scoring in double digits, making it 9 games for her.
Playing the 2-man game with Spearman, and the travel to Spearman began her move.
And Miami's had a few of those this afternoon.
Turnover is Miami's 7th. Tech led by 7 at the break. They've been led all day by Morgan with 12. Morgan for 3, good again. Her second 3 of the night.
And sometimes it's just about feeling comfortable. Miami left her wide open, and that's a 3 that you have to knock down when they disrespect you and leave you open like that. And like we said, that's just going to open the court for her even more to allow her to drive in the lane.
Toni Morgan had 10 threes all season, has a couple today. Wilson, the give and go, the layup spills off. Fight for the miss. Pulled away by Patrick, and she gets pushed.
But that's a good fight. Patrick missed that layup after that nice dime by Day-Wilson, but is able to recover. And we're looking back at this Toni Morgan 3. Disrespect me, I knock it down, and that's exactly what she did on that possession.
But it was a rhythm 3 for Toni Morgan, and she was able to cash out, put Georgia Tech back in front, and gives the sophomore 15. One Ananas in off the bench for the Yellow Jackets. Off the back screen, the bounce falls for Roberts.
And Roberts is such an athlete, like has the size, but when she gets down low, she has good moves or post moves down low to score around the basket.
And 18 points in that win over number 4 North Carolina State. Morgan, this time it's Dunn on the back cut, and she's fouled going up.
I'm telling you, these point guards are dropping some dimes in this game in the third quarter. That was a nice pass by Morgan to Dunn to set her up on that back door. She's not able to finish, but she's able to draw another foul for Georgia Tech.
Good hard cut by Kara Dunn. And 2 free throws for the sophomore from Dallas, Georgia. Foul is the third of the quarter against Miami. They tag Spearman for her first. What can get Kara Dunn going?
Yeah, it'll be a difference maker. And maybe that free throw or these free throws can, because she's been pretty quiet this afternoon. Only, well, from the field, she is 0 for 9 from the field this afternoon.
Has to settle for just 1. Also missed all 6 of her 3-point attempts. But that free throw make gives Tech the lead again. Spearman to a cutting Roberts.
And that's how Roberts plays. She picks her spots, but she moves to get open. And that was a nice cut to get a wide open lane layup.
A lot more ball movement and cutting off the ball for Miami here in the third quarter. Another 3 try by Morgan doesn't fall. Blackshear mops it up. Here's Dunn, swatted. What a recovery by Patrick.
It was. She was playing 2 people by herself. She was guarding Morgan, but had the mindset to go over when Dunn was cutting. Thought she had a wide open jump shot. And Patrick's like, nah, I got this one. Good hustle, good swat, out of bounds.
Impressive recovery by Patrick. Here's Morgan. Teardrop doesn't fall. Spearman the rebound. Coming up on 2 minutes in our third quarter, Miami has erased a 7-point halftime deficit. They've made 5 of their last 7 from the floor. Morgan defends Day-Wilson. Draws one out on the switch. Quick elevation, and she knocks it down.
We see Morgan getting frustrated, but going underneath that screen is not working. She's going to have to stay on Day-Wilson's hip. And then the defender who's hedging on that screen is going to have to recover and help a little bit until Morgan can get back.
And now it's the Hurricanes up 3. 12-point turnaround in this quarter. Morgan jackknifing through the scoop of the score and a foul.
And that's a big-time play by Tomie Morgan. We talk about the miscommunication on the last possession defensively, but she is such a competitor, and she's going to take it, put Tech on her back, splits 2, and goes hard at Spearman with the finish and the muscle to say, I got this one.
And you saw Blackshear was turning back toward the Georgia Tech bench. She wasn't quite sure of the angle of the screen. It became very flat, and Morgan attacked off it.
She did. And she can attack. When she gets to the basket, she is fearless. She's going to go up amongst the trees, chest to chest, to try and get a score.
Now the second on Spearman. And the free throw good. Ties back at 44.
Yeah, and this time, Morgan's just been intentional, like Coach Fortner has said in previous games, of finishing at the rim.
Fearless is an apt way to describe Tomie Morgan. Roberts juking on Augusta Naita. Leaves it for Williams. Williams swaying it on Dunn. Now backs her down and draws a bump. That spills in and one. Got a bump on the elbow going up and a chance for a 3-point play right back for the U.
Yeah, but these guards, Williams as well as Roberts, they are capable. You see she is dancing with Dunn. Dunn staying with her, but does tap that elbow on the shot. And Williams gets the shooter's roll to get the and one. Nice aggressive move, nice concentration, and an even better finish.
First foul on Dunn. Jalea Williams, 64% foul shooter. And the Hurricanes now 5 of 5 from the foul line in the third quarter. And back up 3 in our final minute. Gusen Naito finds Blackshear, spins in traffic, off to one Adanaz, misses everything. Blackshear with the offensive rebound, but she throws it into the hands of Williams. Trying to win the foot race on a Gusen Naito, and in for 2.
She does. She's just too quick and fast, and she's talking a little smack now, saying that they can't stop her, but a great reaction to get that steal and get the finish with the layup.
After 22 first-half points, Miami's exploded for 27 in the third. Shot clock is off. Hurricanes by 5. Morgan stacks up a screen from Blackshear. Leaves it for one Adanaz. The extra pass done. It has not been Kira Dunn's night so far. That makes her 0 of 10 from the field in an emphatic third quarter for the Hurricanes.
They had against Clemson in that OT win. We're seeing the difference the third quarter makes.
Georgia Tech begins on offense with a turnover. Leaking out is Spearman. Runs it down, lays it in.
And that's what you don't want to allow Miami to do, to get some easy transition buckets. They're a very athletic squad and can score at all 5 positions.
This is a fourth quarter where, despite her cold snap, Kira Dunn will need to be heard from. 0 of 11 from the field for Georgia Tech's leading scorer, and Mon Ananas throws it away. Second straight turnover.
Yeah, that was a good idea. She just needed to get that lob pass a little higher to give Blackshear some room to work.
Miami once again showing its poise, battling back from a deficit. Trying to make its 3rd straight NCAA tournament. Day-Wilson funnels it down to Spearman. Iced it on one Adanaz. Bumping across the lane. Leaves it short. Rebound to Widow.
That was good defense by Blackshear.
Widow has a look. An air ball, though. 4 of 22 three-point shooting for the Jackets. The up and under is no good from Dwyer. Trying to wrap that around, and a foul called on the Hurricanes.
And Dwyer trying to get that reverse, and then Patrick gets called for the reach-in as Georgia Tech gets the rebound and tries to go with it.
Georgia Tech bringing on Ariadne Termes, their 6'6" freshman, for the very first time. Fallon, she's a three-point threat at 6'6" on pick and pops, but an interesting roll of the dice here by Nell Fortner with her team chasing 7 points.
It is, but she's understanding she needs some buckets, and maybe Termes can get an open 3 in their half-court set.
Plants the screen for Dunn. Shot clock inside 10. Dunn turns the corner, bounces across Blackshear, tipped away. 4 to shoot, Georgia Tech to retain.
And Roberts has the hustle in this second half. She's everywhere defensively and breaks up that pass and makes Georgia Tech have to try it again, taking the ball out of bounds on the baseline.
Yeah, the recoveries and the hand activity for Miami has been really sharp this second half. The way to the inbound, finds Morgan, comes up firing, can't get it to fall off glass.
And this is what we talked about. Georgia Tech, they can't have these droughts similar to what they had against Syracuse on Thursday, and that tough three-point loss is that they hit these spouts where they can't score the basketball, and it allows their opponents to take the momentum.
The Yellow Jackets had a 10-minute field goal drought in that close loss to Syracuse, which denied them a road upset over a ranked Orange team. Shot clock winding down. Day-Wilson, the step back 3. It was close.
It was. I was like, if she knocks that one down, boy.
Little hop back, Noedo. Double teamed in the corner. Slings out to Morgan. Back to Noedo. Termes for 3. Misses everything. We had that lined up from the top as well, but the buckets are not dropping for Georgia Tech. Still scoreless in our fourth quarter, and the Hurricanes lead by 7. Teams separated by a half game in the ACC standings. Hurricanes 5-6, Georgia Tech 5-7. They'll meet in the regular season finale in Coral Gables. Roberts penetrating, pitching to Patrick. With the clock at 5, cutting through. Got it blocked, recovered. Spearman, stick back good.
That was good hands by Spearman That shot got altered or blocked by Blackshear on Patrick's drive. But Spearman right there to recover for the putback.
And Spearman has been an unsung player for Katie Meyer in this second half as they whistle the foul on Day-Wilson.
Well, we said it. You know, she's home in Georgia playing against, I'm sure, some friends and family this afternoon. So she's trying to put on a show, and so far she's had a solid game this afternoon for the Hurricanes.
7 rebounds and a well-deserved breather for the native of Decula, who's ranked number 30 nationally out of Decula High up in Gwinnett County. Cindy Johnson is in, and she takes the inbound. Does someone other than Tomie Morgan get buckets? A deep seal, Blackshear. Throws out to Johnson.
Got to get out of that lane.
Very close to a 3-second violation. Morgan through traffic.
That's
how
tough.
did she get that in?
That's tough, and you don't want her to have to work that hard, but that shot is impressive. Tomie Morgan split 2 defenders and get the nice roll at the basket.
Give Morgan 20. See her glancing up at the scoreboard. Her team down 7.
But that's what big-time players do. Sometimes you have to put your team on your back and your shoulders, and that might be what Morgan has to do in this fourth quarter to get her team some points.
Natasha Lattimore delivers it to Day-Wilson. Double teamed. Rotated to Lattimore. Rising up the foul line jumper, short by Patrick.
And that was good rotation defensively by Georgia Tech. A lot of movement, confusing Miami of what they wanted to do.
Morgan overcooks the 3. Has made a couple of those tonight. Georgia Tech 4 of 23 from distance. On the pass, tipped away and recovered to the Hurricanes.
Sydney Johnson's like, run the tape. Run the tape.
Not inside 2 minutes. See that again.
That it looks like it was off Johnson.
Yeah.
But hey, you got to fight. Maybe you can change your ref's mind sometimes. You never know.
Oldacre comes in. 6'6" sophomore who had been saddled to the bench with foul trouble. Hurricanes led by 14 from Day-Wilson, 10 from Jasmyne Roberts. They overload the right side. Williams looking. Finds Day-Wilson. Off the mark. And tapped out last by the Hurricanes. Shayeann Day-Wilson's got that look in her eyes. Trying to rally the Hurricanes to a road come-from-behind win over Nell Fortner and the Yellow Jackets. Both coaches keenly aware of the stakes of this game with respect to the ACC tournament. In less than a month, we'll crown a conference tournament champion in Greensboro.
Yeah, this is an important game for Georgia Tech. You've got to win the games at home in conference play.
Tie up underneath. Possession arrow gives it to Miami. A little bit of a too tight space there from Morgan trying to find Blackshear.
Yeah, she's trying to make something happen and trying to keep her teammates involved. But her teammates are going to have to step up, especially on the offensive end. Make something go. It's too much dribbling, get some cutting going, and maybe they can find an open player.
Miami doing a good job clogging the lane, too.
They are. They are. We talked about their defense. I mean, they're not second in the ACC for team defense for nothing. I mean, they hold their opponents to under 60 points a game.
Hurricanes have won 4 straight over the Yellow Jackets. They swept their season series last year. Williams to Oldacre. No good. Grabs it back, though. And the foul, though, will be on the floor, but against Georgia Tech. Just bulldozing her way to the stick back.
She does. She has the size, great hands, and is battling for those rebounds. Doesn't get the finish, but draws another foul.
And takes us to timeout. The lead stays at 7 for Miami. 4:44 to play in Atlanta. Don't go anywhere.
Question: what would you get with almost $750?
Easy. I'd
by a smartwatch like that guy.
Makes sense. Use that GPS for your poor sense of direction.
Excuse me? My grandfather was a homing pigeon. My internal compass is genetic.
Must have skipped a generation.
I'm a walking GPS.
Okay. Which way is north? Okay, that's up, not north.
I should get the watch.
Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds to spend on whatever you dream up.
Not everyone's training for a gold medal. Not everyone wants to go hard or go home. Whatever you're starting, run your own race.
Let's go!
Because doing something is everything.
Get started with a 30-day home trial today at onepeloton.com. Terms apply.
$1 million Whopper contest. I can top that.
I can top that.
Hey! You can top that!
You bet! Really? Avocado, bacon, hollandaise.
Hollandaise?
Pickles and sport peppers.
What? Corn chips!
Brisket bark?
I can top that.
Bacon, egg, and cheese Whopper.
Pizza Whopper.
Creating your Whopper your way could win you $1 million. Can you top that?
So I can take all these trips because Priceline has all these amazing deals. Look. The deals are hatching. And that's when I said, deal!
And on your right is our Infinity Deal Pool.
Oh, dearissimo. Breathe in. You are the deals. I am the deals. The deals are me. Wait, you can hear me?
Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Miami up 7 on the heels of an historic Elite Eight run last year, trying to go to an NCAA tournament for a third straight year. Net ranking at 37, quality wins over the Wolfpack, and a Duke team that's in the top 25 of the net. Certainly don't want to overlook that road win over Mississippi State as well.
Yeah, no, they've been impressive this season again, and this just tells you about how Coach Meyer coaches her team. They're going to be prepared. They're going to put themselves in a great position to get a win against any opponent.
A 5-second violation and a turnover on the Hurricanes. And of course, road wins, especially down the stretch.
They count. They matter.
Oh, yeah.
And especially when you're neck and neck in the standings against a team like Georgia Tech, you're just trying to, you know, try and get that spread in the gap or put more space in the gap in that lead.
Meanwhile, Georgia Tech has yet to have a breakthrough against a team in the top 50 of the net. Nearly had that versus Syracuse on Thursday. After they were up 7 at halftime, down 7 here. Blackshear strong to the hole, and a foul call.
And that's an aggressive move, something we hadn't really seen in the second half of just getting Blackshear some touches so she was able to drive. We saw it in the first half, but she has a good advantage off the dribble against her opponent.
Stops the clock with 4:20 remaining as the foul goes on Lattimore. Blackshear had a double-double against the Hurricanes last year with 18 points, 11 rebounds. Coming off 15 and 6 against the Orange. Third on the Jackets with 12.1 points per game. And again, a lot of these free throw trips for the Yellow Jackets in the second half have been 1 for 2s.
And every free throw counts. They're important. They matter, especially down the stretch with a game this close.
Roberts, entry was deflected.
Comes on the run to Johnson, over the shoulder, feeds Dawn. Dawn gathers herself and finally has a field goal. And that one comes on the fast break to draw the deficit down to 4.
And maybe that can get her going a bit in this fourth. They need that scoring from Dunn if they're going to secure a home victory.
First made field goal in 12 attempts today for the sophomore and one of the most improved players in this conference, Kara Dunn. Morgan chases Day-Wilson out to midcourt. Williams from the corner, the drive, no good. And last off the Hurricanes.
And that was good recovery by Johnson, but an even better help job by Juan Adanaz to make that shot a little difficult for Williams, and she is short on the edge of that rim and misses that layup.
And Juan Adanaz there for her defense and her ability to recover. 3:28 to go. Dawn off the back cut to Morgan. And a timeout Miami, high off the window and down for Tomie Morgan.
That was a big-time pass by Dunn. Sometimes you don't do it in your scoring, but you can throw a nice dime to your teammate.
Woo. With the offhand, high and soft by the sophomore Tomie Morgan over Spearman. And it's a 2-point game with 3:15 to go.
Hey, look at this.
What?
Save nearly $750.
With that kind of money, we could fly south.
Except we don't migrate.
No, I'm talking actually fly. Sit back, relax, maybe work on my novel, and I won't forget the little birds out there. Actually, yes, I will.
Wow, money changed you.
Just keeping it real. Do people still say that?
Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds to spend on whatever you dream up.
Hey, Emma.
We need a mattress, right?
Yeah?
I've been doing a little research.
Little?
The Sofa Classic has 2 layers of springs that contour to your body.
Nice, but...
It has a 3-inch Euro pillow top, Dan.
Oh,
and it's surprisingly affordable.
But I just wanted to know about dinner.
Saatva, luxury mattresses made affordable.
Hey, it's me, your skin. I crave being clear without irritation. CeraVe Acne Cleanser. Benzoyl peroxide treats my acne, while 3 essential ceramides and CeraVe help restore my natural barrier so we can treat and heal.
CeraVe Acne Foam and Cleanser.
$1 million Whopper contest. I can top that.
I can top that.
Hey! You can top that!
You bet! Really? Avocado, bacon, hollandaise.
Hollandaise?
Pickles and sport peppers.
What? Corn chips!
Brisket and burgers.
I can top that.
Bacon, egg, and cheese Whopper.
Pizza Whopper.
Creating your Whopper your way could win you $1 million. Can you top that?
It's Georgia Tech's turn to cook up a comeback. Fallon Stokes' 7-0 spurt over the last 3 minutes to pull within 2.
Well, we said if they were going to do it, this was the time too, and some impressive play by Georgia Tech as the time is winding down in this one. That dime pass right there to Tomie Morgan with the finish was nasty.
Boy, that brought the bench to the feet. Tomie Morgan up to 22 points. Georgia Tech was up by as many as 9 in the first half. They led by 7 at halftime. And then they trailed by as many as 9 3 minutes into our fourth quarter. Day-Wilson.
Oh, go ahead. No, basketball is a game of runs, and we've seen it. The third quarter was dominated by Miami, and to wind down in this fourth, Georgia Tech's making a nice run for themselves.
Williams delivers it to Roberts. Tough jumper.
She's a player. Like, it may not fully show in the points and in the box score, but she can do it from all angles for Miami.
Just lacing the net zone. They spring the double team in backcourt. Is tipped out by Johnson. Turnover.
You see it. The speed of Williams, and she told whatever Coach Meyer told her to do, she implemented it in that game, and it worked in that press. She's able to get that deflection and get her team another possession.
Oh, just a sneak attack double team on the veteran Johnson. Hurricanes up 4. Roberts with a foot on the line. Good. Jasmyne Roberts. She's got 14, and just like that, the Hurricanes set you to 6.
And you need those players. She has the experience as a sophomore, made it to the Elite Eight a season ago, so she knows how to finish games for Miami, and she's doing it right now.
Hurricanes unshaken by that 7-0 Tech run. Morgan working on 22. Shot clock at 5, loads up the screen from Blackshear. Here's Dawn, 4-3, short, rebound, loose. Blackshear has it, and she's stripped on the way up. Foul called.
Yeah, that's good hustle by Blackshear to recover and get that offensive board. Then be aggressive of going back up and drawing the foul.
The 4th foul of the quarter against the Hurricanes, but it was in the act, so Blackshear to shoot a pair. Close to a double-double with 11 points and 9 boards.
And these free throws are going to be important. She's going to have to knock down both of these if she wants to cut into Miami's lead.
It is closing time at McCamish after Georgia Tech achingly left Syracuse on Thursday with a narrow loss to the Orange, in which they went scoreless for the last 2:20 of the game. And Miami coming off that resounding, resilient overtime come-from-behind win over Clemson. And a 2-for-2 trip, like you said. Blackshear delivers both, and a timeout for the Yellow Jackets.
And those free throws were so important, you know, for the Jackets to cut into Miami's lead by 4. But, you know, it's been something all season long that Coach Fortner's been trying to preach, and being consistent and playing for 40 minutes to close out a game. And, you know, it's nice to have these runs, but you can't have these droughts, you know, when, you know, they go 0 for, or they have scoring droughts where they're not able to score the basketball. But you see the record right here. They perform well against teams who are below 500, but against the opponents that could give them more points in the net or just improvement to make it to the tournament or get some votes, they've struggled 0-7 against teams above 500.
Certainly don't want to give ground to a Miami team that's comes in with the same ambitions of them trying to move up in the standings. Because if the ACC tournament were to start today, Georgia Tech would be in 10th position, Miami would be in 9th. Remember, these teams meet again at the Watsco Center to close out the regular season March 3rd. 1:44 to play. Georgia Tech only has 1 team foul this quarter. And down by 4.
I think this is an important possession for Miami. See what they can make happen.
Hurricanes just 1-5 on the road this year in the ACC. Roberts' pass was batted and stolen. Dunn on the run.
Yeah, that was a good job. Good defense by Kara Dunn to read and anticipate that pass.
Jackets get organized. Morgan drifting toward the corner. Feeds Blackshear. Out it comes to Morgan. Oh, and she caught it on the sideline to turnover.
That's tough. That was a shot that I think Blackshear was capable, had the positioning and the shot, and didn't take it. And then passes it back to Morgan, and she steps on that sideline.
Yeah, if not to take that shot initially from the elbow, just go to work and get downhill.
Because it's been working for her this afternoon, and that's the matchup that I'm sure Coach Fortner wanted for Blackshear on that possession.
Turnovers in this game are a push, but that could be a costly one for the Yellow Jackets. We're now inside of a minute. Williams handling, and a timeout called Katie Meyer.
And that's a good timeout by Coach Meyer. You want to draw something up. This is an important possession, so her team can try and score or at least draw a foul and get to the free throw line.
Her 19th season on the bench for the Hurricanes. Trying to leave Atlanta with a 4th win in their last 5 and pull even in conference play at 6-6. Working that whiteboard hard.
Yeah, no, she is, and a capable coach.
You think it's going to go to Day-Wilson, even though others have had the hotter hand in the 4th quarter?
it's either going to Day-Wilson or Roberts. I mean, if I'm looking for Roberts on those last 2 big buckets she's had for the Hurricanes, they've been key. But like you said, in this second half, Day-Wilson, she's that leader, she's that point guard. I wouldn't be surprised if she has it too or somehow gets it back.
Possession arrow favors Georgia Tech. And the Hurricanes can bring this down to about 40 seconds if they use the remainder of the shot clock. Whoa, Williams, watch out. Almost had that ball bounce in the backcourt. Double teamed in front of Katie Meyer and a foul call. Georgia Tech has several to give.
Yeah, there was a lot of bumping going on. It looks like Williams may have gotten hit in the face. You can't really see, trying to get some clarity with sweat in her eyes. But she was aggressive and able to draw that foul, but Georgia Tech did have some fouls to give.
Off the double screen, Day-Wilson catches. Morgan mashed down her. And they finally called a foul on Morgan. I don't think she wanted it. Just judging by her reaction.
Yeah, I don't think she's trying to get that foul called.
And you see, Fortner mouthing no foul.
Yeah.
And you saw Morgan having a conversation with the sideline official.
Yeah.
Roberts looking and now bouncing away. And now Miami can take this to around 22 seconds with a 4-point lead.
It can. This is going to be a critical possession, especially with the time winding down for Georgia Tech.
Williams wriggling her through. Wraparound pass. Spearman lays it in.
That's a big-time play. Big-time play by Williams, keeping her dribble, finding the open player, and Spearman has a nice finish at the basket.
And the Decula, Georgia native Lazaria Spearman on the receiving end of that dime from Williams. Timeout, Georgia Tech with 24 seconds to go. Let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, Williams just keeping her dribble and makes a nice right-hand pass to Spearman, who was right there at the basket. Can't get any better than that, especially with the shot clock winding down and as we wind down in this fourth quarter.
Well, still, Georgia Tech was trying to fence in Jalea Williams. They had 2 defenders around her, and she still got to her dominant hand and got past him. And broke down the defense.
Yeah, she did, but she's been quick. She has a good handle and is able to break defenses just like she did on that possession, and that's why she's a key component for this Miami club. You know, Coach Meyer has several good, solid ball handlers in her backcourt, and they're doing a good job this afternoon of breaking those double teams against Georgia Tech.
Well, Georgia Tech now with time winding down, just 4 of 25 from three-point range today, and they in a position where they need one. Morgan with it. Morgan circling, turning the corner, drives, banks, no, but a foul. Boy, if that one went down, it could have made things awfully interesting. She'll have 2 free throws with 16 seconds left.
And right now, Morgan's going to the free throw line, but it's only 16 seconds left in this game. Still some good time. But Georgia Tech's starting to run out of time to try and get this victory.
Toni Morgan, 22 points. See 4 or 5 at the free throw line today, making 5 of 6. Also 8 rebounds, 4 assists.
Yeah, she's been impressive, but besides Blackshear this afternoon, really no help on the offensive end.
Cans the second. Full court pressure by the Yellow Jackets. And a timeout off the ball. Johnson was clinched up with Day-Wilson. Team foul number 4.
Tech foul charge number 21, Cindy Johnson, her third, 4th team foul.
And Katie Meyer, I think, wants to use a timeout so she can advance the ball.
And that is smart. I mean, it's the reason they changed the game to allow that. So you can advance the basketball and put our team in a better position to try and score or get to the free throw line.
Katie Meyer calls for a 30. 59-55 Hurricanes. Georgia Tech not wanting to let a home opportunity slip away as they head on the road for a pair next week to Clemson, whom they beat here at McCamus earlier this year. Then in Raleigh, and then back home to take on Louisville and Wake Forest before closing the regular season against the Hurricanes in Coral Gables. Yeah, Miami taking on Syracuse on Thursday. Boy, Syracuse and Louisville.
Yeah.
Played a head turner and in some cases a head scratcher.
Yeah, head turner
those closing
and scratcher.
sketches.
Sure, and after that impressive win for Louisville against Notre Dame on Thursday, tough loss today against Syracuse. But Syracuse has been rolling. I think they've been one big surprise in the ACC this season and nationally ranked, and a team that definitely is saying they have something to say.
The Orange avoided an upset to the Yellow Jackets on Thursday. Roberts looking to inbound, foul off the ball. Once again, it was Johnson tying up Day-Wilson. That will send the Hurricanes to the line.
Day-Wilson all smiles. Morgan trying to argue her case that she didn't have Day-Wilson tied up, but that was a good acting job by Day-Wilson because she made it seem like it was tough for her to get through that opening.
Sydney Johnson pleading her case, but goes unheard, and Day-Wilson, a 76% foul shooter with a pair. Miami was 3 of 9 from the foul line in the first half. Since then, 5 of 5.
Yeah. And
Day-Wilson, 6 of 6.
Yeah, she was a big reason for the turnaround for Miami in the second half. We saw what she did in the third quarter. 10 points in that quarter, but was solid to get her team back on track. And it's looking like they're going to secure a road victory this afternoon.
Day-Wilson 10, make it 11 points after halftime. Strokes the second one down. Georgia Tech back down 6 as Nell Fortner calls time. We've had a Cheshire Cat grin on the countenance of Shayeann Day-Wilson. Was there maybe a little gamesmanship to get that foul?
I think it was, and you saw Day-Wilson was cheesing, especially when she looked at Williams and how they made that happen. But you could just talk about experience.
Yeah.
I mean, they've played in a lot of games, not together. This is the first season they've played together, but they have the experience at juniors to try and sell that a little bit, draw that foul in to close out this game.
Let's see if we can take a look at that last foul. The craftiness of Day-Wilson here. Oh, yeah, she was grabbing a hold of Sydney Johnson's arm.
Or Tony Morgan's arm. Yeah,
Tony
she
Morgan's
was looking
arm.
like, no way, that was not me. Hey, some gamesmanship. I like it.
Somebody called it a wily move. Augusta Naita is in for a three-point shooting, has to step back and let it fly. Offensive rebound done, sticks it in, 9.4 seconds left. Timeout Georgia Tech, the deficit down to 4.
And you see Coach Meyer already has that dry erase board back up, ready to draw something new for her team. But Georgia Tech continuing to fight. They don't want to give up this game, but the time is winding down for the opportunities that they might have to finish out.
Jackets down by 4. They had used a 7-0 run earlier in this quarter to pull the deficit from 9 to 2, but then Miami made a couple of tough jumpers to stretch the margin back out as the Hurricanes seek a 4th, make it 5th consecutive win over the Yellow Jackets. You see the game reset possession arrow. Should there be a tie-up favors the Yellow Jackets, and should Miami have trouble inbounding, they've got a timeout in hand. But this would be a very emboldening win, you could say, for Miami, coming on the road down early with another come-from-behind victory in their sights to burnish their case for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, these close wins, these are the ones, are close games. These are the ones that you want to pull out and get a victory, because it's going to mean a lot come tournament time, you know, and come March for the NCAA tournament when the committee is trying to make a decision.
Roberts to handle the inbound. And she finds Day-Wilson trying to play keep away now. And she is slashed by Augusta Naita with 6.5.
And Day-Wilson is the player that Coach Meyer wants to have the ball late in the game like this. She's a capable free throw shooter, shoots at a high percentage at about 76% this season. She has been the leader for this team all afternoon, and I think the game changer, big reason why Miami's looking like they're gonna get another victory.
Former ACC Rookie of the Year at Duke, coached by a former ACC Rookie of the Year at Duke and Katie Meyer. And those free throws become the rally repellent on the road
And Miami has been stone cold at the line after halftime. 7 of 7. How about 54% as a team from the field
in
the second half?
That's been more impressive, especially how they shot the basketball in the first half. Huge turnaround.
A miss on the second, but not a whole lot Georgia Tech can do here. The Goosen Knights are good, but they 10th of a second left. Down to 2, but there's the inbound, and there's the ball game. Not quite as historic a comeback as what Miami pulled off on Thursday, but they made up a 9-point deficit in this first half and a 7-point deficit at halftime to come away from Atlanta with a 62